Hello all, welcome to the next session. So in the previous class we have discussed about the introduction to EWM. So in this class we will log into SAP and then we'll try to build the org structure at S4 site, and then we will try to integrate S4 with the EWM system, and then we'll build the master data at EWM site. So let me log into SAP. I'll go to SPRO. So in the IMG, under enterprise structure, we have definition and assignment. So in SAP, whenever if you want to build anything or if you want to build any org structure or entity, so the basic fundamental is you first need to define it and then you will have to assign it. So here in the master data, I am going to use the standard company code because there are some uh, financial accounting settings done, and this company code is working fine based on my previous testing. So I'll be using the same company code. We are going to use a new plant and define a new plant PL18. So under PL18, I am going to define two storage locations. One is AFS, one is ROD. I'll use the same purchase organization existing in the system 1710, and the sales org will also be the same. But if you are working in a brand new implementation project, then definitely you will have to create one. And then at the purchasing side, I'm going to define a receiving point. In the sales side, we need to define distribution channel and division. I'm using the same existing one, 10 and 00 respectively. And we need to define a shipping point. And then I'll define intermediate warehouse in S4, which is W18, W18. So I'm in the IMG screen. Since we first need to define, I am expanding the define folder. Since that we are not going to create a new company code, I'll directly go to Logistic General to define new plant. It is always recommended if you copy uh, a standard plant to your new plant. Even when you are working in implementation projects, it is recommended that whenever you have a brand new system, SAP will provide uh, the standard plants so that you can copy from those standard plants when you are defining one. So I'll be selecting copy, delete or check plant. I'll double click on the first option, copy, delete, check plant, and then click on copy. Give the source plant. So in my case, I'll provide P001 and give the new plant which are going to create, that is PL18. So this PL18 is not yet created in the system, don't get confused. So here I am doing two steps at a time. So the first step is I am defining PL18 plant by copying all the settings which are existing for P001 plant. So P001 is existing and PL18 is now which I am creating. Now I'll click on continue. As you can see, system is copying all the configuration related to the P001 into PL18. So it says with errors, but it is fine. There are few warnings, I guess. I'll go back. Again, go back. Now go to define plant and validate whether your plant PL18 is created. As you can see, our plant PL18 is created. I'll just rename it to my plant because it was copied from the P001 plant description. So after we define plant, I'll go to sales and distribution node. Here you can copy, define or delete a sales organization, but I'm going to use the same sales org 1710, so I'm not copying or defining any sales org. And similarly, I'm going to use the same distribution channel. So the next is material management. Under material management, you will define storage locations. So I'll click on maintain storage location. Here, since we need to define the storage location under plant, so we need to enter our plant PL18. So since I have copied from the existing warehouse P001, system has copied all the storage locations from P001 to PL18 while we were defining the plant. I'll select all and then I'll only keep the required ones. I want to define two storage locations, one is AFS and one is ROD. So I'll deselect these both and delete the rest of the entries. I'll click on all entries, click on OK. Now if I check, I have two storage locations AFS and ROD under my plant PL18. I'll click on save. Go back. So purchase organization, I'm going to use the same purchase organization which is there in the system, the standard ones, which is 1710. So I'm not maintaining any purchase organization over here. Next is go to logistic execution. Under logistic execution, you will define a warehouse number. Remember, this is a dummy warehouse number which you are defining at the S4 site. So it is nothing but the intermediate warehouse number which we are intending to create with this nomenclature W18, W18. So here I'll just create a new entry, give my warehouse number W18 and I'll give some description, warehouse for WH18. Click on save. You can also copy from the existing warehouse number, but since we are just defining one dummy warehouse number, so we need not copy all the settings from the existing warehouse number. So I recommend just to select define warehouse number and define one. And then we need to define a shipping point. So since we already have the existing shipping point in the system, we are going to copy the same settings. Click on execute, click on copy. Give the source shipping point and give your shipping point for which you want to create under PL18. So my shipping point is, again I'm giving the same code PL18. Click on OK. I'm giving maybe P001 is not available in the system. I'm just trying to give P002 and see whether the settings are existing. Yes, now it is copied. I have given some shipping point SP01 and it has copied to PL18. So here my shipping point is PL18. I'll again go to define shipping point and change the description. So now my shipping point is ready. So now we have done the definition of all the entities. So now we are going to assign. So assignment is just below the definition. So I'll expand assignment. Under assignment you have logistic general. Since we are not creating any new company code, I'm directly coming to logistics general and assign our plan to the company code. Click on execute. Since we have copied the plant details, let's check whether our plant is already assigned to the company code. Our plant is PL18. Click on select. As you can see, since we have copied P001, so system has also copied this configuration. So we need not assign again. Our assignment is already done. Next, under sales and distribution, so we need to perform this step: assign sales organization, distribution channel, and plant. So click on new entry. Our sales organization is 1710. Distribution channel is 10. Plant is PL18. Hit enter. Since we have copied from the existing configuration, these entries were also copied. That is why we are getting this error. If you want to check, click on plant, give your plant, and check whether your combination is already existing. As we can see, the combination is already existing. Next, under material management, we need to assign the purchase organization to the plant. Click on execute. Since you have already copied, let's check whether this assignment is also copied. Select or search by plant PL18, and as we can see, PL18 is already assigned to 1710. I'll go back. Next, under logistic execution, we need to assign the plant storage location and warehouse number combination. I'll click on execute. Click on new entry. My plant 1718 storage location ROD is connected to W18 warehouse number. My plant PL18 storage location AFS is also connected to W18. So here I am making the assignment saying that these two storage location of PL18 is connected to this warehouse W18. Click on save. Next is we need to assign the shipping point to the plant. Click on execute. Control F. Give your plant PL18. Click on OK. Again click on PL18. Since we have copied this plant from the other plant, these all entries are copied. you only need to validate whether your shipping point is assigned to your plant or not. As we can see, our shipping point is assigned already. So in the real time, you won't get these entries. Make sure that your shipping point is assigned to your plant. So the definition and assignment is done. Next, there are few more settings for determination of shipping point. So that setting is under logistic execution. Under logistic execution, you have shipping. Under shipping, you have basic shipping functions. Under basic shipping functions, you have shipping point and goods receiving point determination. Expand this node. So under this node, select assign shipping point according to storage location. Execute. Check whether your settings are already copied. Search by plant, PL18. As we can see, there are no entries. So let's create our entries. So whenever my plant in the inbound deliveries or in the outbound deliveries PL18 and storage location is AFS, my system should determine PL18 as my shipping point. And if I want to change the shipping point, then system should allow to manually enter PL18. That is the meaning of this entry. I'll go back. So this is how your shipping point is determined in the outbound delivery, this node. For example, if there are small warehouses and there is only one point for shipping as well as receiving, so in that case you can use the same shipping point as the receiving point. Okay, so in our case I'm going to use the same shipping point as the receiving point. So in that case, I'll go to assign goods receiving point for inbound deliveries. Click on execute. Check whether the entries are already copied. Search by plant. As you can see, there are these many entries. And here we have our required entry. So I'll select all and delete rest of the entries. So the meaning of this entry is, so in my inbound delivery, if my plant is PL18 and if my storage location is ROD, then shipping point PL18 should be determined. Since I'm using a shipping point as the receiving point, so here it is showing as shipping point. Click on back. Next, so if you want to work with split deliveries, for example, if in your purchase order, if you want to receive the stock in multiple plants, so in that case you want to split the deliveries. So in that case you need to activate this indicated delivery split for warehouse number. Here again, determine delivery split per warehouse number. Double click on it. Go to your warehouse W18 and activate this indicator. If I click F1, here you can see the description. I'll click on save. Right. Now we have built the org structure in the S4 side. Now we need to perform few settings at the integration with other components node. Okay, expand this node. Under this node, look for EWM. Under EWM, you have assign warehouse number to EWM warehouse number. Execute. Go to our warehouse number W18. Check first the entry is available. Yes, the entry is available. Now we need to give the EWM warehouse number. As you can see, this is the free text. We haven't created W18 in the EWM, but we are going to create in the next sessions. So here I am giving or assigning this WH18 in advance to our intermediate warehouse number. So this assignment is done. Click on save. Go back. Next, basic settings for EWM linkage. So under basic settings for EWM linkage, select first option, configure SAP EWM specific parameters. Click on execute. Go to your warehouse W18. Here we need to activate to EWM warehouse. The meaning of this node is, for this intermediate warehouse, we are using as the EWM warehouse. Distribution mode. So whenever you create the delivery is distributed immediately at the document creation. Next, hit enter. Here you have unchecked deliveries. When you are using CRM, then this unchecked deliveries significance is there. Otherwise, leave it. If you want to determine the batch in EWM with the batch attributes, then activate this indicator. Next, GR from EWM. If you want to perform the GR and in EWM itself, in case of production integration, when you are working with production integration and if you want to restrict to perform the GR only from EWM, then you need to activate this indicator. For now, I am giving it blank. Next, how would S4 communicate with EWM? Set it to queue, which is queued and serialized asynchronous RFC. Next is delivery change. This is important. This is a new feature. Here, if you want to change any delivery details, very limited delivery details, even after the distribution, you can do this. So in that case, you need to activate this indicator and then perform the changes. So you need to make sure that the warehouse activities are not started. Then only system will allow you to perform the changes in the S4 side. Next is serial numbers. If you want to work with serial numbers with the EWM environment, then activate this indicator. Save it. Go back. Next is we need to generate a distribution model to transfer the data to EWM. Because whenever you create some deliveries in S4 side, you need a bridge to transfer the data to EWM. So that bridge is nothing but we are going to create a distribution model. So what does this distribution model contains? This distribution model contains the function modules or the programs. These programs will help you to distribute the transaction data from S4 to EWM. So for that, Give your S4 warehouse number W18. Give the logical system of EWM. This basis team will provide you. And give the distribution model view. Generally, we can use EWM, or you can give some other nomenclature system will create if it doesn't exist. I'll use EWM. Next. Under objects, you see inbound, outbound, PMR. So basically in EWM, you are going to perform all these transactions. If you want to build or distribute the deliveries only for the inbound scenarios, you need to select this. But basically it is recommended to click on all, so that you can distribute the production orders, you can distribute the outbound deliveries to EWM, you can distribute inbound deliveries to EWM. I'll select all, and what is the action we are going to perform? We are going to create the entries. That is why create entries is selected. Click on execute. Okay, maybe there is some maybe someone has changed some settings for the distribution model view EWM. We are going to use this distribution model. Click on OK again and give this distribution model. Now let's try. Click on execute. Now as you can see, the protocol is okay and all the entries. So these are the methods. Okay, so these methods are responsible to distribute the data from S4 to EWM. Okay, this is the model view, this is the sender, this is the receiver, and these are all the technical program names. Click on OK. Now if you want to check whether your data is maintained correctly or not, you can click on check entries and execute. As you can see, data correct for warehouse number W18. Click on OK. Go back. Okay, rest all the settings are related to the basic settings, basis settings. So that is why I'm not touch basing those configurations. So next is data transfer. Again, these are related to the basic settings. So this is about the org structure in S4 and integration setup. Now we are going to build the org structure at the EWM side. As you can see, the highest org structure in S4 side is company code, but in EWM the highest org structure is warehouse number. So we have completed the org structure at S4 side. Now let's try to build the org structure at EWM side. Go to IMG setup. Since you are working with embedded EWM, we'll have the SAM EWM node here. Expand this node. Expand EWM. So there are multiple ways to copy or define your warehouse number. One way is under master data, you can define warehouse number. If you define the warehouse number, click on new entry, you will have to provide all the details, the warehouse control details. So as I said, so when you are working in an implementation project, in that case you can copy the standard warehouse settings by copying the standard warehouse number. So in EWM the standard warehouse number is 0001. Okay, so in order to copy the warehouse number from the standard warehouse number, we need to go to cross process setting. Here we have warehouse number customizing. If you use this option, you need to give the standard warehouse number which is already existing in the warehouse and give the warehouse number which you want to create. Once you click on execute, all the customizing settings which are existing for 0001 will be copied to WH18. Click on copy. Click on OK. As you can see, all the configuration from 0001 is being copied to WH18. Customizing entries have been copied successfully from 0001 to WH18. Go back. Now you can validate whether your warehouse number is created. Under master data, you have defined warehouse numbers. Click on execute. Give your warehouse number. Since it was copied from the standard one, we need to change the description. Save it. Not only the warehouse number description, since the customizing settings have already been copied from the standard warehouse, you can check the customization or the entries which were copied. Our warehouse is WH18. So this is warehouse number control. Here you'll see all the settings at the warehouse level. For example, in your warehouse, what is the weight unit which you are going to use? So based on the country location, they have their different weight units in their region. So in warehouse 0001, the weight unit was kg. So that is why all these entries were copied from 0001 warehouse. Similarly for volume unit M3, for currency UR, time unit, unit of length is meter, what is the factory calendar at 01. And this is exception wave. I'll discuss about exception wave when we are working with wave management. When you are working with a replenishment, what is the stock type which needs to be used? F2. F2 is unrestricted. I'll tell you what is the stock type F2 and other stock types in EWM. This is again related to the warehouse process type in the EWM. I'll discuss about warehouse process type in the further classes. But for now, these are all the default to warehouse process types for the storage processes. These are all the default procedures or the procedures which are considered while these operations in EWM. If your EWM system is linked to or integrated with other SAP or non-SAP system, we need to activate over here. Next, I'll go back. So the next master data after you define the warehouse number is you will need to define the number ranges. Click on execute. So these are all the number ranges which you need to define. So whenever you create the task, this will use this number range. If you are working with wave management, warehouse order, consolidation group, VAS order, for everything we need number range in SAP. So we need to define one by one, or you can copy from the existing one. So first come one by one. Define number ranges for warehouse tasks or warehouse documents. Double click on it. Click on copy. Give the source warehouse number and give the warehouse number for which you are working. WH18, click on OK. Click on OK again. Number range is copied. To validate, give your warehouse number and click on display. See, this is the number range. Next, so after defining number range, here you can see a tick mark is coming. Similarly, let's define. For now, we haven't discussed anything about the wave, but let's copy number ranges for all the entities. So after defining the number ranges for all the uh, documents, here we need to assign those number ranges. Go to our warehouse number WH18. Since we have copied from the standard warehouse, all these number ranges, all these entries are already copied. Okay, I'll leave it blank. I'll discuss about this in the further sessions. For now, these entries looks to be fine. Click on save. Go back. Number ranges is done. Now go to define storage types. Click on execute. As you know, the highest org structure in EWM is warehouse number. So under warehouse, we define the storage types. Okay. So let us go to our warehouse. WH18. As you can see, all the storage types are created. How the storage types are created? Since we have copied warehouse number WH18 from the standard warehouse number 0001, that is why we are seeing all the storage types already under WH18. Okay, so I'll discuss more on the storage types, but I'm just showing you what all master data is copied when we copy the warehouse number customizing. Okay, so our warehouse number is now ready at the EWM. Next is interfaces. Under interfaces, we have ERP integration. Okay, under ERP integration, we have goods movement. Okay, under goods movement, we need to map the storage location from ERP system to EWM system. Okay, I'll show you how it is mapped. Before that, here under general setting, we have assign warehouse number from LE. Okay, click on execute. Maintain a new entry. What is the intermediate warehouse number which we defined in the S4 system? That is W18. And what is the EWM warehouse number? Our EWM warehouse number is WH18. So this entry is required. Save it. Go back. So we'll come to this node again. For now, we have just maintained this assign warehouse number from logistic execution to EWM. Okay. So now the next entity is go to easy access. Under easy access, we have some master data to be defined again. These are not transportable. So under SAM EWM, you have EWM. Under EWM, go to master data. Under master data, as I explained you in the previous class, we have something called supply chain unit. Okay, the supply chain unit actually holds the geographical data of the warehouse. Give your preferred name. My supply chain unit is some SCU minus PL18. This is open field. You can give any name for your supply chain unit. I'm giving SCU minus PL18. The recommended type is 1008. So here you have these many types for the supply chain unit. Since you are working with EWM, you can give 1008, which is warehouse. Basically, what is the type of supply chain unit you are going to create? You are selecting 1008. Click on create. So maybe someone has changed the business system details. So I'll troubleshoot with the help of the basis guys or myself, and then we will continue in the next session from this note. So in this class, we have discussed about the master data setup in S4 system, the integration setup from S4 to EWM. And then in the EWM, we have defined a new warehouse number WH18 by copying from the existing warehouse or the standard warehouse. So in the next class, we will discuss about the supply chain unit and the further configurations needed to integrate from EWM to S4. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a nice day.